Rain slashes across her face like broken glass. Lyra Navarro drags a man twice her size through salt water and fire, her bare feet slipping on jagged volcanic rock. The plane behind them screams, metal twisting, fuel hissing, the right wing half submerged in black ocean waves that smell like sulfur and death. She can't breathe right. Her silver crop top clings to her ribs, soaked through. Her red skirt is torn at the thigh, fabric catching on sharp stone as she pulls him toward the shore. Blood runs down her shin. She doesn't feel it yet. The man's head lolls forward, unconscious, but his hand grips her wrist so tight it leaves white marks on her brown skin. Like he knows her, like he's been holding on to her his whole life. Lyra collapses beside him on the rocks, chest heaving, hair plastered to her neck. The storm overhead presses down heavy and dark. Lightning cracks the horizon. She tastes copper in her mouth. "Wake up!" she gasps, shaking his shoulder. "Wake up!" His lips move, a whisper, so quiet she almost misses it. "Lyra." Her entire body goes cold. He said her name. She jerks back, staring at him. She hasn't told him anything. Not her name. Not who she is. They were strangers on that flight. Two people who booked the same charter at the last second, avoiding eye contact in the tiny cabin. And now he knows her name. "Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is." The man's eyes snap open, dark, sharp, flooded with recognition. He stares at her like she's a ghost he's been chasing for decades. "You came back," he whispers, voice rough from smoke. "After all these years." Lyra scrambles backward, palms scraping rock. Her heart slams against her sternum. "Who are you?" she breathes. He sits up slowly, water dripping from his hair. His wet shirt molds to a body built like violence and control. Tattoos cover his left arm, black ink trailing up to his shoulder. A scar cuts beneath his right ear, old and deep. He looks at her the way someone looks at a stolen photograph, with grief, with need. "You don't remember me." It's not a question. It's devastation. Lyra shakes her head, trembling. "I don't know you." "Yes, you do." His voice drops lower, quieter, more dangerous. "My name is Cassian Moretti." The name hits her chest like a fist. Cassian. Cassian. A memory fragment explodes behind her eyes. Too fast, too bright. A boy's voice calling her name in an abandoned field. Skinny arms. A promise whispered under a broken sky. No. It can't be him. "Lyra Navarro," Cassian says slowly, like he's tasting each syllable. "I thought I'd never say your name again." She opens her mouth to respond, and then she hears it. Gunfire. 3 sharp cracks echo across the water. Cassian's head snaps toward the ocean. His entire body shifts, predator recognizing a hunt. A small boat cuts through the waves toward the island. Fast, deliberate. Men standing at the bow, armed. Lyra's stomach drops. "They found us," she whispers. Cassian grabs her wrist and pulls her behind a massive rock formation. His grip is iron. His pulse is steady. "Stay down," he orders. But Lyra's mind is spinning. Those men aren't random. They're not rescuers. Before I tell you how our plane fell from the sky and I discovered the MAFIA boss remembering a promise from 20 years ago, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more powerful stories. Cassian leans close, his breath warm against her ear. Who knows you were on that flight? Lyra's throat tightens. My boss, she whispers. Severin Lux. Cassian goes completely still. What did you just say? Severin Lux, she repeats, panic rising. I worked for him. I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. He sent me away. He said I needed a vacation. He booked the flight. Cassian's jaw hardens. That wasn't a vacation, Lyra. His voice is cold now. Lethal. That was an execution. The boat engine roars closer. Cassian turns to face her fully, his eyes burning with something ancient and unfinished. You promised to marry me when we were kids, he says quietly. Do you remember that? Lyra's breath catches in her throat. The gunfire gets louder. Do you think childhood promises can survive 20 years of silence? The explosion happened at 14,000 feet. Lyra remembers the sound, a deep metallic crack that made her teeth vibrate. The right engine erupted in orange flame. The cabin filled with smoke. Oxygen masks dropped like dead snakes from the ceiling. She remembers screaming. She remembers the pilot shouting coordinates into the radio before his voice cut off. She remembers Cassian moving, not panicking, moving. He crossed the cabin in 2 strides, yanked open the emergency kit, grabbed the fire extinguisher. His hands worked fast, precise, controlled. He didn't ask questions, didn't freeze. He fought the fire while the plane spiraled. And when the ocean rushed up to meet them, he braced her body with his own. That's how she survived. Because a MAFIA boss decided she was worth saving. Now, crouched behind volcanic rock with bullets ricocheting off stone, Lyra watches Cassian assess the situation. His eyes track movement. His breathing is measured. He's done this before. How many? She whispers. 4. Cassian replies without looking at her. Maybe 5. They're here for you. No. His voice is sharp. They're here for both of us. Lyra's hands shake. She presses them flat against the rock. I don't understand. You said you saw something you weren't supposed to see. Cassian's gaze cuts to her. What was it? Lyra swallows hard. Financial records. Offshore accounts. Severin was moving money through fake charities. Millions! And I saw... Her voice breaks. I saw your name, Cassian. Moretti. He was planning to steal from you. From your entire network. Cassian's expression shifts. Recognition. Rage. Understanding. That's why he wanted you dead, Cassian says quietly. You're the witness. And you? I've been tracking him for months. Cassian exhales slowly. He knew I was getting close, so he put us both on the same plane and blew it out of the sky. Lyra's chest tightens. We were never supposed to survive this. No, Cassian agrees. We weren't. The boat scrapes against the shore. Boots hit wet rock. Voices shout commands. Cassian looks at her, really looks at her. And for a moment, the hardness in his face softens. Lyra Navarro, he murmurs. You once saved my life when I was 12 years old. You pulled me out of the worst night I ever lived through. And I swore, his voice drops. I swore if I ever found you again, I'd never let you go. Lyra's breath hitches. I don't remember. You will. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small. A piece of worn paper, folded tight, protected in a waterproof pouch. He hands it to her. Lyra unfolds it with trembling fingers. It's a child's drawing. 2 stick figures holding hands. A crooked house. A sun with too many rays. And at the bottom, in shaky handwriting, Lyra plus Cassian. Forever. Her vision blurs. The memory slams into her chest. An abandoned field. A boy with bruises on his arms. A girl who promised to keep him safe. "I drew that the day after you made me promise," Cassian whispers. "I kept it for 20 years. Lyra looks up at him, tears streaking her dirty face. Does that promise still count? The question hangs in the air like smoke. Cassian doesn't answer. Because one of the armed men steps into view 30 feet away, raising his weapon. She was 12 years old when she met him. The memory floods back now. Vivid, brutal, undeniable. Lyra and Cassian grew up in the same broken neighborhood where houses sagged and streetlights stayed dark. They went to the same underfunded school, sat in the same classrooms that smelled like mildew and defeat. But they didn't speak. Not until the night Cassian's father was murdered. Lyra heard the gunshots from 3 blocks away. She was walking home from her aunt's house, cutting through the alley behind the abandoned textile factory. She saw the men running, saw the blood pooling under the streetlight, and she saw the boy. Cassian, 13 years old, kneeling beside his father's body, shaking so hard his teeth chattered. No one stopped. No one called for help. People in their neighborhood knew better than to get involved. But Lyra walked toward him anyway. She knelt beside him in the blood and the rain. "You can't stay here," she whispered. Cassian didn't look at her. His hands were covered in red. "He's dead." "I know. They shot him in the street like he was nothing." Lyra took off her jacket and draped it over Cassian's shoulders. It was too small. It didn't help. But it was all she had. "Come with me," she said. She pulled him to his feet, led him through alleys and side streets to the one place no one looked, the abandoned field behind the old church. They sat there for hours. Cassian didn't cry. He just stared at the sky. "I'm going to disappear," he finally said. "They're going to put me in a home or on the street. And no one's going to remember I existed." Lyra looked at him, this boy with blood under his nails and terror in his eyes. "I'll remember," she said fiercely. Cassian turned to her. "Promise?" "I promise." Lyra grabbed his hand. "And when we're older, when we get out of this place, you have to marry me. That way you can't run away. That way I'll always know where you are." Cassian's lips twitched. The smallest, saddest smile. "You want to marry me?" "I want to make sure you survive," Lyra corrected. "And if you're stuck with me, you will." Cassian laughed. It was broken and hollow, but it was real. "Okay," he whispered. "I'll marry you, but only if you remind me one day." They shook on it, 2 kids with nothing making promises they didn't understand. A week later, Cassian disappeared into the foster system. Lyra never saw him again. Until today, until the plane crashed and a man with tattoos and scars pulled her from the wreckage and whispered her name like it was the only word that mattered. Now, crouched behind volcanic rock with armed men hunting them, Cassian looks at her with the same desperate need he had 20 years ago. "I never forgot," he says quietly. "Not for a single day." Lyra's hands tremble. "I forgot you," she whispers. "I'm sorry. I forgot." "You survived." Cassian's voice is rough. "That's all that matters." The man with the gun steps closer. Cassian shifts his weight, muscles coiling. "Lyra," he says softly, "does that promise still count?" She stares at him, at the boy who became a monster to survive, at the man who kept a child's drawing for 2 decades. "I think I remember," she breathes. Cassian's eyes darken. "Good," He stands. The armed man shouts a command. Cassian raises both hands in the air. Lyra's heart stops. What do you think Cassian is about to do? Surrender or strike? Lyra lunges forward. Don't! Cassian's hand shoots back, slamming against her chest, pinning her to the rock. Stay down, he orders. His voice is iron. The armed man approaches, weapon raised, barrel aimed directly at Cassian's head. He's young, maybe 25, with a radio clipped to his tactical vest and overconfidence in his swagger. Cassian Moretti, the man calls out, grinning. Severin sends his regards. Cassian doesn't move. Tell Severin he made a mistake. Yeah. The man laughs. What mistake? Leaving witnesses. The man's grin falters. There won't be any witnesses when we're done. 3 more men emerge from the tree line, spreading out in a tactical formation. They're professionals, trained, armed with rifles and cold expressions. Lyra's pulse hammers in her throat. This is it. This is how they die. But Cassian's breathing stays calm. Too calm. Lyra, he says quietly, not looking at her. When I move, you run. North. Follow the coastline. Don't stop. I'm not leaving you. You don't have a choice. The lead gunman steps closer, weapon steady. Where's the girl? Cassian's jaw tightens. What girl? Don't play stupid. Severin wants her alive. You? Not so much. Lyra's blood turns to ice. Alive. They want her alive, which means whatever she saw in those financial records is worse than she thought. Cassian shifts his stance, barely perceptible, but Lyra sees it. His weight transfers to the balls of his feet. His hands drop slightly. He's going to fight. 4 armed men. No weapon. No backup. Last chance, Moretti, the gunman says. Where is she? Cassian smiles. It's the most dangerous thing Lyra has ever seen. She's the one who's going to kill you. The gunman's eyes widen. Cassian moves. Fast. Faster than Lyra thought possible. He closes the distance in 2 strides, hooks his hand behind the gunman's wrist, twists. The rifle discharges into the air. Cassian drives his elbow into the man's throat. Bone cracks. The man drops. Gunfire erupts. Cassian dives behind a rock formation, dragging the fallen rifle with him. Lyra presses herself flat against the stone, ears ringing, heart exploding in her chest. Bullets shred the air above her head. Lyra! Cassian shouts. Run! She can't move. Her legs won't work. One of the gunmen flanks left, trying to circle around. Cassian leans out and fires. 3 precise shots. The man stumbles backward and collapses. 2 left, but they're spreading out now. Using the terrain. Smart. Cassian's breathing hardens. Lyra, what exactly did you see in those files? What? What? Did you see? Lyra's mind spins. Offshore accounts, shell companies, millions moving through fake charities, and, she chokes on the words, and a ledger with names, your name. Other names I didn't recognize. He was planning to frame you for money laundering and theft. He was going to let the feds tear apart your entire operation while he disappeared with the money. Cassian goes silent, completely silent. Then he laughs, low, dark, lethal. That son of a bitch, he whispers. Another gunshot rings out, closer this time. Cassian glances at Lyra, his eyes burning. You weren't supposed to be on that flight, he says. I know, neither was I. The words sink in like stones. Lyra stares at him. What do you mean? I mean, Cassian's voice drops to a growl. Severin changed my flight last minute. Told me there was a meeting I couldn't miss. Routed me through a private charter instead of commercial. Lyra's stomach twists. He put us both on the same plane, and then blew it out of the sky. Cassian's expression hardens. He wanted us both dead. You because you're the witness. Me because I was getting too close. The remaining gunmen shout commands to each other, repositioning, closing in. Cassian checks the rifle's ammunition. 3 rounds left. Not enough. He looks at Lyra, really looks at her, and something shifts in his face. If we die here, he says quietly, I need you to know something. Don't. I spent 20 years trying to find you. His voice cracks. I searched every database, every record, every city. And when I couldn't find you, I told myself you were dead, that I'd lost you, that I'd never get the chance to. A bullet slams into the rock inches from his head. Cassian doesn't flinch. To what? Lyra whispers. Cassian's eyes lock on hers. To keep my promise. The gunmen rush their position. Cassian fires twice. 1 man drops. 1 bullet left. 1 gunman remaining. And he's close. Too close. Cassian tosses the empty rifle aside and pulls a knife from his boot. 7 inches of cold steel. Lyra, he says, this is going to get ugly. Close your eyes. She doesn't close them. She watches as Cassian Moretti, the boy who once held her hand in an abandoned field, becomes the monster the underworld whispers about. Does violence change a person? Or does it reveal who they always were? They run. Cassian pulls Lyra through dense jungle terrain, his hand locked around her wrist, dragging her over roots and fallen branches. Her bare feet bleed. Thorns tear at her arms. The air is thick and hot and smells like rot. Behind them, voices shout. Footsteps crash through undergrowth. The last gunman is hunting them, and he's not alone anymore. Reinforcements arrived on a second boat while Cassian fought the first wave. Lyra saw them through the trees. 4 more men, heavily armed, spreading out in a search pattern. Cassian doesn't slow down. He moves like he knows this island, like he's memorized every trail, every hiding spot, every escape route. Where are we going? Lyra gasps. Anywhere they're not. Her lungs burn. Her vision blurs. Cassian glances back, sees her struggling, and immediately slows. I'm sorry, he mutters. I'm pushing you too hard. Don't stop, Lyra pants. Don't you dare stop. He almost smiles. Almost. They reach a narrow ravine cutting through the jungle. Water trickles at the bottom. Cassian scans the terrain, calculating. We need to move parallel to the coast, he says. Stay hidden, but keep the ocean in sight. If we can reach the north side of the island, there's a chance. A chance of what? A chance someone I trust will find us before Severin's men do. Lyra grabs his arm. You called for help? I always have backup. Cassian's expression darkens, but they're 2 hours out, maybe 3. We have to survive until then. A branch snaps behind them. Close. Too close. Cassian shoves Lyra against a massive tree trunk, pressing his body against hers, shielding her. His hand covers her mouth. His breath is warm against her temple. Footsteps approach. 1 man, sweeping the area methodically. Lyra's heart slams against her ribs so hard, she's sure he'll hear it. The man stops 10 feet away. Radio static crackles. "Sector 3 clear," the man reports. More static. A voice responds. "Keep moving. They can't have gone far. Severin wants the girl alive. Kill Moretti on sight." The man clicks off his radio and continues north. Cassian waits. 1 breath, 2, 3. Then he moves, silent, lethal. Before I tell you how Cassian plans to turn the hunters into the hunted, make sure to like this video and share it with someone who loves intense stories. He crosses the distance in 4 strides, wraps his arm around the man's throat from behind, and squeezes. The man claws at Cassian's forearm, tries to shout. Can't. 30 seconds later, the man goes limp. Cassian lowers him to the ground, takes his radio, his weapon, his ammunition. He doesn't kill him. Lyra notices. "You let him live," she whispers. "He's just doing a job." Cassian checks the rifle. "I only kill people who deserve it." "And Severin?" Cassian's eyes turn cold. "Severin deserves worse than death." They keep moving. The jungle thins near the coast. Volcanic rock replaces dirt. The ocean stretches out black and endless under storm clouds that refuse to break. Cassian stops near a natural cave, opening carved into the cliff face. "In here," he says. Lyra hesitates. "What if they find us?" "They will." Cassian's jaw tightens. "But by then, I'll be ready." They slip inside. The cave is shallow, maybe 20 feet deep, but it provides cover. Cassian positions himself near the entrance, rifle ready. Lyra sinks against the cold stone wall, shaking. Her adrenaline is crashing. The reality of the last hour hits her all at once. "I don't understand," she whispers. "Why does Severin want me alive? If I'm a witness, wouldn't it be easier to just kill me?" Cassian doesn't look at her. "Because you're not just a witness, Lyra." "What do you mean?" He's silent for a long moment. Then he turns to face her. "The files you saw, the ones with my name and the offshore accounts, those weren't just evidence of theft. They were evidence of something bigger. Severin wasn't just stealing from me. He was building a case to hand over to federal prosecutors. He was going to flip, testify, bring down my entire network in exchange for immunity." Lyra's breath catches. "And I'm the proof." "You're the proof." Cassian's voice drops. "If Severin delivers you alive, and you testify that you saw those documents, that you can verify the connections, the feds will give him everything he wants. Money, protection, a new life. But if I'm dead, if you're dead, the case falls apart." Lyra's hands tremble. "So I'm trapped. If I stay alive, I help Severin destroy you. If I die, you die." The weight of it crushes her chest. "I never wanted this," she whispers. "I just wanted to disappear. Start over somewhere quiet. Live a normal life." Cassian moves closer. He kneels in front of her, his eyes searching hers. "Lyra," he says quietly, "you saved my life when I was 12 years old. You pulled me out of the worst night I ever lived through. You made me a promise that kept me breathing when I wanted to stop." His hand reaches up, gently brushing a strand of wet hair from her face. "I lost you once," he murmurs. "I won't lose you twice." Lyra's throat tightens. "You barely know me anymore." "I know enough. You're a criminal, Cassian." "I am." "You've killed people." "I have." "And you want me to trust you?" Cassian's expression shifts, raw, vulnerable, dangerous. "No," he says softly. "I want you to survive. Trust can come later." Lyra stares at him, at the man built from violence and grief. at the boy who kept a child's drawing for 20 years. "Why do you care what happens to me?" she whispers. Cassian's hand cups her cheek. "Because I lost you once, I won't lose you twice." The radio on Cassian's belt crackles to life. A voice cuts through the static. Cold, familiar. "Severin." "Cassian Moretti," Severin says smoothly. "I know you're listening, and I know you have my assistant with you. So let's make this simple. You give me Lyra, and I'll let you walk away. You keep her," his voice drops, "and I'll make sure neither of you leaves that island alive." Cassian's jaw hardens. "You have 10 minutes to decide," Severin continues. "After that, I stop being reasonable." The radio goes silent. Lyra looks at Cassian, terror flooding her veins. "What are we going to do?" Cassian stands slowly. His expression is calm, terrifyingly calm. "We're going to make Severin regret every choice he's ever made." Will Cassian sacrifice himself to save Lyra, or does he have a plan no one sees coming? Cassian tears fabric from Lyra's red skirt. She doesn't stop him. Blood seeps from a gash on his left shoulder, a bullet grazed from the earlier fight. The wound is shallow but angry, flesh torn open like ripped paper. "Hold still," Lyra whispers. Her hands shake as she wraps the makeshift bandage around his arm, tying it tight. Cassian doesn't flinch, doesn't make a sound. He just watches her. "You're hurt," she says. "I've had worse." That's not reassuring. Cassian's lips twitch, almost a smile. Lyra finishes the bandage and sits back, her own body trembling from exhaustion. Her feet are cut up, her arms are scraped raw. But she's alive, for now. "Cassian," she says quietly. "Why did you really keep that drawing?" He's silent for a long moment. Outside the cave, waves crash against volcanic rock. The storm still hasn't broken. "Because it was the only proof I existed," Cassian finally says. "After my father died, I disappeared into the system. No family, no home. Just case numbers and foster homes that didn't want me. I bounced around for years, and every time I moved I lost something. Clothes, photos, pieces of myself." His hand reaches into his pocket, pulling out the worn paper again. "But I never lost this." Lyra's chest tightens. "I should have looked for you," she whispers. "You were a kid. You had your own survival to worry about. I still should have—" "Stop." Cassian's voice is firm but not harsh. "You gave me something no one else did. You saw me. You remembered me." "That was enough." Lyra looks at him. This man built from violence and grief, who somehow kept a piece of his childhood intact. "What happened to you after you left?" she asks. Cassian exhales slowly. "The system failed me. So I found people who wouldn't. The wrong people. Criminals, dealers, loan sharks. I started running errands when I was 14, became an enforcer by 16, and by 20, he pauses. By 20, I realized I could either stay at the bottom or take control. So you became a boss. I became what I needed to be." Lyra studies his face. "Do you regret it?" Cassian meets her eyes. "Every single day." The honesty cuts through her like glass. "Then why not leave?" she whispers. "Because the people I protect can't leave. The families who depend on me. The kids growing up in the same neighborhoods we did. Someone has to stand between them and the monsters, and if that someone has to be a monster himself," Cassian's jaw tightens, "then that's what I'll be." Lyra's throat aches. She reaches out and touches his face, hesitant, trembling. "You're not a monster, Cassian. He catches her wrist gently. Yes, I am. His thumb brushes across her pulse point. But for you? His voice drops. I'll be whatever you need me to be. The air between them shifts. Charged. Dangerous. Lyra pulls her hand back, heart hammering. We need a plan, she says, changing the subject. Severin's men are going to find this cave eventually. Cassian nods. I know. And your backup is still 2 hours away. I know. So what do we do? Cassian stands, checking the rifle's ammunition again. He moves to the cave entrance, scanning the jungle. We stop running, he says quietly. Lyra stares at him. What? We've been reacting since the crash. Defending. Hiding. That's not how you win. Cassian turns to face her. You win by making them react to you. You want to attack them? I want to make Severin think he's already won. Lyra's stomach twists. How? Cassian picks up the radio, the one he took from the unconscious guard. He holds her gaze. By giving him exactly what he wants. Before Lyra can respond, Cassian presses the transmit button. Severin, he says calmly. This is Moretti. I'm ready to talk. Static crackles. Then Severin's voice cuts through, smooth and cold. I'm listening. You want Lyra alive. I want to walk off this island breathing. Let's make a deal. Lyra's eyes widen. No, he's not. What kind of deal? Severin asks. I give you Lyra. You give me safe passage. No tricks, no ambushes. We meet at the North Beach in 1 hour. You bring your men. I come alone. Silence. Severin is calculating. And why would I trust you, Cassian? Because if you kill me, you start a war you can't win. My people know I'm here. They know you're responsible. You let me walk, and I disappear. You get Lyra. You get your federal deal. Everyone walks away. More silence. Lyra grabs Cassian's arm, shaking her head frantically. He puts a finger to his lips. Wait. 1 hour, Severin finally says. North Beach. You come alone. If I see anyone else, Lyra dies first. Understood. The radio goes dead. Cassian sets it down. Lyra stares at him, fury and terror warring in her chest. You're not actually going to hand me over. No. Cassian's voice is iron. But Severin thinks I will. And that's all that matters. What are you planning? Cassian moves closer, his expression deadly calm. Severin wants you alive because you're his ticket to immunity. But if you're dead, the case collapses. Which means he has to keep me breathing long enough to testify. Exactly. Cassian's eyes burn. So we're going to make him think he won. He'll drop his guard, get comfortable. And when he does, you'll kill him. Cassian doesn't deny it. I need you to trust me, Lyra. She searches his face. You're asking me to walk into a trap. I'm asking you to let me protect you by using me as bait. Yes. Lyra's hands shake. And if something goes wrong? Cassian's expression softens, just for a breath. Then I die making sure you don't. The weight of his words settles over her like a shroud. Why do people risk everything for promises made in childhood? Lyra closes her eyes. When she opens them, her voice is steady. Okay, she whispers. I trust you. Cassian exhales, relief flooding his features. Thank you. He hands her the knife from his boot. Keep this on you. If anything goes wrong, if I go down, you run. North. Don't stop. My people will find you. Lyra takes the knife. Her fingers close around the handle. "Cassian," she says quietly. "That promise we made when we were kids." He looks at her. "Does it still count?" she finishes. Cassian steps closer. His hand cups her face. "Every word," he murmurs. Then he kisses her forehead, gentle, steady, a vow wrapped in tenderness. "Let's go end this," he says. They step out of the cave together, into the storm that's finally breaking. The North Beach is a killing ground. Open sand, no cover, waves crashing against black volcanic rock on 3 sides. Cassian and Lyra approach slowly. 5 men wait near the tree line, rifles ready, eyes cold. Severin stands in the center, tall, silver-haired, wearing a tailored suit that somehow survived the ocean crossing. He looks like money and control. He smiles when he sees them. "Cassian Moretti," Severin calls out. "I have to admit, I didn't think you'd actually show." Cassian stops 20 feet away, hands visible, unarmed. Lyra stands beside him, trembling. "I keep my word," Cassian says calmly. "Do you?" Severin's smile widens. "Because I seem to remember you swearing you'd destroy me if I ever crossed you. And yet here you are, negotiating. Things change." "Yes, they do." Severin's gaze shifts to Lyra. "Hello, Lyra. You've caused me quite a bit of trouble." Lyra says nothing. Her hand grips the knife hidden in her waistband. "Let's make this simple," Cassian says. "I give you Lyra. You let me walk. No one else dies today." Severin tilts his head. "You care about her." "It's not a question. I care about surviving," Cassian replies. "Liar." Severin steps closer. "You've been looking for her for years. I did my research after you started sniffing around my operations. Lyra Navarro, childhood friend, the girl who disappeared. You never stopped searching." Cassian's jaw tightens. "Which makes this fascinating," Severin continues. "You're willing to trade her life for yours. That tells me one of 2 things. Either you don't care as much as I thought." He pauses. "Or you have a plan." Cassian's expression doesn't change. "I don't have a plan. I have a survival instinct." Severin laughs. "You're good, Cassian. I'll give you that. But I didn't become a billionaire by trusting criminals." He snaps his fingers. 2 of his men move forward, grabbing Lyra by the arms. She doesn't fight. Cassian doesn't move. "Let her go," Severin orders. The men release her, but stay close. "Now," Severin says, pulling a handgun from his jacket. "Let's test your survival instinct." He aims the weapon at Cassian's chest. "If you really don't care about her, you'll walk away right now. Leave her with me. Disappear. I'll even give you a 10-minute head start." Cassian's eyes stay locked on Severin. "And if I don't, then I shoot you, take Lyra anyway, and prove you died for nothing." The ocean roars behind them. Lyra's breath catches. "Don't move," she thinks desperately. "Just walk away. Save yourself." But Cassian doesn't move. He stands perfectly still. "You're not going to shoot me, Severin?" "No." Severin's finger tightens on the trigger. "No, because the second I go down, your entire operation collapses. My people are already moving. They know where you are. They know what you've done. And if I die," Cassian's voice drops to a lethal whisper, "they burn everything you've ever built to the ground." Severin's smile falters. "You're bluffing." "Am I?" Cassian takes a step forward. The men raise their rifles. "You made a mistake, Severin," Cassian continues. "You thought I was alone. You thought Lyra was defenseless. You thought you could kill us both and walk away clean. Another step. But you forgot something. What's that? Cassian's eyes burn with cold fury. I don't lose. A helicopter roars overhead. Severin's head snaps up. 3 black SUVs explode from the jungle, tires tearing through sand. Cassian's back up. Early. The men scatter. Gunfire erupts. Cassian tackles Lyra to the ground, covering her body with his. Bullets shred the air above them. Lyra screams. Cassian drags her behind a rock formation, shielding her. "Stay down!" he shouts. She watches in horror as his men, armed, trained, ruthless, engage Severin's guards. The fight is brutal, fast, unforgiving. Within 30 seconds, 3 of Severin's men are down. The other 2 surrender. Severin runs. Cassian sees him. "Stay here," he orders Lyra. "Cassian!" He's already moving, sprinting after Severin with terrifying speed. Severin makes it to the tree line before Cassian catches him. Cassian slams him against a tree trunk, forearm pressed against his throat. "You tried to kill her," Cassian growls. Severin gasps for air. She's a witness! She's mine!" Cassian's grip tightens. "Please," Severin chokes. "I can pay you millions, whatever you want. I want you to suffer." Cassian leans closer, voice dropping to a whisper. "But I'm not going to kill you." Severin's eyes widen with confused hope. "You're not?" "No." Cassian steps back. "I'm going to let the feds have you. I'm going to hand over every file, every transaction, every crime you've ever committed. And you're going to spend the rest of your life in a cell, knowing you lost to the people you tried to destroy." He shoves Severin toward 2 of his men. "Take him!" They drag Severin away, his protests fading into the jungle. Cassian turns back toward the beach, toward Lyra. She's standing now, watching him with wide eyes. He walks to her slowly. "It's over," he says quietly. Lyra's legs give out. Cassian catches her before she hits the ground. "I've got you," he murmurs. "I've got you." She buries her face in his chest and finally breaks, sobs racking her body. Cassian holds her tight, one hand cradling the back of her head. "You're safe now," he whispers. "I promise." Can someone built from violence truly offer safety? Or will the past always catch up? Dawn breaks over the volcanic coastline. Soft gold light spills across black rock and dark water. The storm finally died sometime during the night, leaving the air clean and cool. Cassian sits beside Lyra on the beach, watching the horizon. His men have secured the perimeter. A medic treated Lyra's injuries, bandaged her feet, cleaned her cuts, gave her water and painkillers. She's alive. They both are. "Your shoulder," Lyra says quietly, gesturing to his wound. "It's fine." "It's not fine. You got shot." "Grazed," Cassian corrects. "There's a difference." Lyra shakes her head, almost smiling. "You're impossible." "I've been told." They sit in silence for a moment, just breathing, just existing. "What happens now?" Lyra finally asks. Cassian exhales slowly. "My people will handle Severin. Turn over the evidence to the right authorities. Make sure he goes away for a long time." "And me?" Cassian looks at her. "That depends." "On what?" "On what you want." Lyra pulls her knees to her chest, staring at the ocean. "I wanted to disappear," she says softly. "Start over somewhere quiet. Be invisible." "You still can." "Can I?" She turns to face him. Severin's people know who I am. The feds will want me to testify. And you, her voice breaks. You're a mafia boss, Cassian. Being near you means danger, always. Cassian's jaw tightens. You're right. The honesty hurts more than any lie could. But, Cassian continues, I can protect you. I have resources, safe houses, new identities. I can make you disappear so completely that no one, not Severin's people, not the feds, not anyone, will ever find you. Lyra's chest aches. And what do you get out of that? Cassian's expression softens. The knowledge that you're alive, that you're safe, that the girl who saved me when I was 12 gets to live the life she deserves. Tears blur Lyra's vision. I don't want to disappear from you, she whispers. Cassian goes still. Lyra, I spent 20 years not remembering you, not knowing you existed. And now that I've found you again, she wipes her eyes roughly. I don't want to lose you. Cassian reaches out, catching her hand. You won't lose me. How can you promise that? Because, his voice cracks, because I've spent 20 years looking for you. And now that I've found you, I'm not letting go. Lyra stares at their joined hands. Your world is dangerous. It is. People die around you. They do. And you want me to stay anyway. Cassian pulls her closer. I want you to choose, he says quietly. If you want to disappear, I'll make it happen. New name, new life. You'll never see me again. But if you stay, he cups her face gently. If you stay, I will spend every day keeping you safe. I will build walls around you that nothing can break. I will protect you with everything I have. Lyra's breath hitches. That's not a life, Cassian. That's a prison. Then I'll make it a palace. She almost laughs. Almost. You really kept that drawing for 20 years. Every day, Cassian murmurs. It reminded me that someone once saw the best parts of me, the parts that weren't broken yet. Lyra traces the scar under his ear with her fingertip. Those parts are still there, she whispers. Cassian closes his eyes. I'm not the boy you knew, Lyra. I know. I've done terrible things. I know. And you still want to stay? Lyra leans forward until her forehead rests against his. I promised to marry you, she breathes. Remember? Cassian's hands tighten on her waist. That was a child's promise. Does it still count? The question hangs between them. Cassian opens his eyes, dark, intense, burning with something old and fierce. Every word, he whispers. Then he kisses her. Soft at first, testing, asking permission. Lyra kisses him back. Desperate, trembling, pouring 20 years of loneliness into the contact. Cassian's hand slides into her hair, angling her head, deepening the kiss. It's not gentle. It's not safe. It's two broken people finding pieces of themselves in each other. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Cassian presses his forehead to hers again. Stay with me, he murmurs. Let me protect what's mine. Lyra's heart pounds. Am I yours? Cassian's thumb brushes across her bottom lip. You've been mine since we were 12 years old. A voice calls from down the beach. Boss, helicopter's here. Cassian pulls back reluctantly. We need to move, he says. My people will take you somewhere safe while I clean up this mess. Lyra grabs his hand. Where are you sending me? Somewhere Severin's people will never find you. And then what? Cassian looks at her, really looks at her. And then I come find you. Again. Lyra's throat tightens. How long? A week, maybe 2. Just until I make sure every loose end is tied up. You promise? Cassian lifts her hand to his lips. I promise. They stand together, walking toward the helicopter. Before Lyra climbs in, she turns back. Cassian? She calls over the rotor noise. He looks at her. That promise we made when we were kids, about getting married, his eyes darken. What about it? Lyra smiles, the first real smile since the crash. I'm holding you to it. Cassian's expression shifts, shocked, vulnerable, hopeful. Yeah? Yeah. The helicopter lifts off. Cassian watches until it disappears over the horizon. Then he turns back to his men. Let's finish this. Do childhood promises ever truly fade, or do they simply wait for the right moment to return? 2 weeks later, Lyra stands in a safe house overlooking the Atlantic. The place is beautiful, modern, secure, isolated. Floor-to-ceiling windows, white walls, ocean views that stretch forever. She's been here alone since Cassian's men dropped her off. Alone with her thoughts, alone with the memories, alone with the knife Cassian gave her, which she keeps on the nightstand, just in case. The door opens behind her. Lyra spins, heart racing. Cassian steps inside. He looks different, clean-shaven, wearing a dark sweater and jeans instead of tactical gear. But his eyes are the same, intense, focused, relieved. Hey, he says quietly. Lyra's breath catches. You came. I promised. She crosses the room in 3 strides and throws her arms around him. Cassian catches her, holding tight. It's over, he murmurs into her hair. Severin's in federal custody. His operation is dismantled. The charges against my network were dropped. You're safe. Lyra pulls back, studying his face. And you? Are you safe? Cassian's lips twitch. I'm always in danger. That's the job. I hate your job. I know. She hits his chest lightly. I'm serious, Cassian. If we're going to do this, if I'm going to stay, you can't keep putting yourself in situations where you might die. Cassian catches her hand, pressing it flat against his heartbeat. I'll be more careful. Promise? I promise. Lyra exhales shakily. Good. They stand there for a moment, just holding each other. Tomo, Cassian finally says. About that childhood promise, Lyra looks up at him. What about it? Does it still count? Lyra pretends to think. I don't know. I was 12. I might have changed my mind. Cassian's eyes darken with mock hurt. You're breaking my heart, Navarro. Am I? Completely destroyed. Lyra laughs. It's the first time Cassian has heard her really laugh. The sound makes his chest ache. Okay, she says, smiling. The promise still counts. You're sure? I'm sure. Cassian pulls a small box from his pocket. Lyra's eyes widen. Cassian, I'm not proposing, he says quickly. Not yet. Not like this. You deserve something better than a safe house and a man covered in scars. He opens the box. Inside is a simple silver ring. But I want you to have this, he continues quietly, as a reminder that I'm coming back, that I'm keeping my promise, that 20 years didn't erase what we meant to each other. Lyra's vision blurs with tears. Cassian slips the ring onto her finger. When this is all over, when my world is safer, when I can give you the life you deserve, I'm going to ask you properly. Lyra touches his face. I don't need a perfect life, Cassian. I just need you. He kisses her then. Deep, slow, a promise wrapped in contact. When they break apart, Cassian rests his forehead against hers. Stay with me, he whispers. Let me protect what's mine. I'm yours, Lyra teases softly. Cassian's thumb brushes across her cheek. You've always been mine. The ocean crashes against the cliffs outside, and for the first time in 20 years, both of them feel like they're finally home. Can love survive when it's built on childhood promises and adult dangers? 6 months later, Lyra wakes up in Cassian's bed. Sunlight streams through the windows of his penthouse, a place she's learned to call home. The city sprawls below, loud and alive. She rolls over. Cassian's side of the bed is empty. She finds him on the balcony, coffee in hand, staring at the skyline. You're up early, she says, wrapping her arms around him from behind. Cassian covers her hands with his. Couldn't sleep. Nightmares? Memories. Lyra rests her cheek against his back. Good ones or bad ones? Both. They stand there quietly. The city hums below them. Lyra, Cassian says eventually. Yeah? I need to ask you something. She pulls back, studying his profile. Okay. Cassian turns to face her and drops to one knee. Lyra's breath stops. I know we made a promise when we were kids, Cassian begins. 2 broken children in a broken neighborhood, trying to survive. You told me to marry you so I couldn't run away, and I said yes because I needed something to hold on to. He pulls out a ring, different from the silver one he gave her months ago. This one has a small diamond. Simple. Beautiful. But we're not kids anymore, Cassian continues. And this isn't about survival. This is about choice. I'm choosing you, Lyra. Every day. Every version of you. The girl who saved me. The woman who survived. The person who makes me believe I'm more than the monster I've become. Tears stream down Lyra's face. Cassian, marry me, he says quietly. Not because of a childhood promise, not because you're trying to save me, but because you want to. Because you choose this. Choose me. Choose us. Lyra drops to her knees in front of him. You're not a monster, she whispers fiercely. You're the boy who kept a child's drawing for 20 years. You're the man who risked everything to protect me. You're the person who showed me that promises don't break. People do. And you never broke. She cups his face in her hands. Yes, she breathes. I'll marry you. I choose you. Every single day. Cassian slides the ring onto her finger. Then he kisses her. Soft. Deep. Forever. When they finally break apart, both smiling through tears, Cassian pulls her close. You promised to marry me when we were kids, he murmurs against her hair. Lyra laughs softly. And you asked me if that promise still counted. Does it? She looks up at him, this man built from violence and grief, who somehow learned to love. Every word, she whispers. They stand together on the balcony, watching the sunrise. 2 people who survived the crash. 2 people who kept a promise. 2 people who chose each other. Again, and again, and again. Because some promises don't break. They just wait for the right moment to be kept. 3 years later. Lyra Moretti stands in the same abandoned field where she once made a promise to a broken boy. The grass has grown tall. Wildflowers push through cracked earth. The old church behind them is being renovated, turned into a community center for kids who need somewhere safe to exist. Cassian's project, his way of giving back to the neighborhood that broke him. "You're thinking too loud," Cassian says, wrapping his arms around her from behind. Lyra leans into him, one hand resting on her growing belly. 6 months pregnant, a girl. They're naming her Sophia. "I was just remembering," Lyra murmurs. "We sat right here. You were covered in your father's blood, and I promised I'd remember you." Cassian's hand covers hers on her stomach. "You did more than remember me," he says quietly. "You saved me. Twice." Lyra turns in his arms. "We saved each other." Behind them, voices carry across the field. Kids laughing, playing basketball on the new court Cassian funded, running through sprinklers on the community lawn. Safe, protected, seen. "Do you ever regret it?" Lyra asks, "leaving that world behind?" After their engagement, Cassian had made a choice. He'd dismantled his criminal empire piece by piece, turned over his operations to people he trusted, and walked away. It hadn't been easy. Some people called him weak, others called him a traitor. But Cassian didn't care, because Lyra asked him to choose. Her or the violence, the future or the past, and he chose her, every single time. "No," Cassian says simply. "I don't regret it." Even when people whisper that Cassian Moretti went soft, his lips curve into a dangerous smile. "Let them whisper. They're alive to whisper because I allow it." Lyra laughs, shaking her head. "You're still terrifying. Only when I need to be." She touches his face. This man who learned to build instead of destroy. "I'm proud of you," she whispers. Cassian's expression softens. "I'm proud of us." A kid runs past them, chasing a soccer ball, shouting with pure joy. Cassian watches him with something like peace in his eyes. "You know what I think about sometimes?" he says quietly. "What?" "That boy I used to be, kneeling in his father's blood, convinced he'd never matter, never be remembered, never be loved." Cassian looks down at Lyra. "If I could go back and tell him that one day he'd have this, a wife who sees him, a daughter on the way, a life built on something other than fear, I don't think he'd believe me." Lyra's eyes fill with tears. "He'd believe you," she says, "because even then he knew how to hope. He kept a drawing for 20 years. That's not giving up. That's holding on." Cassian pulls her close, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "I held on because of you." They stand there as the sun sets over the neighborhood that made them. Two people who survived. Two people who kept their promise. Two people who proved that love doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be chosen, again and again and again. Sophia kicks inside Lyra's belly, strong, alive, fighting to be born, just like her parents once fought to survive. And Lyra smiles, knowing their daughter will grow up in a world where promises aren't broken, where love isn't conditional, where even monsters can learn to be human again. Because some promises don't just survive, they transform everything they touch.